What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hello, welcome. I'm Chloe. Today's video is going to be something a little different than my normal videos, but I think it's really important, especially for the people who follow me on Instagram. So it's going to be the 5 things I wish I knew before I started lifting weights. Before I get into it, let me ask you, are you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you see all of my future videos, and give this video a thumbs up to show your support. Thank you. All right, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. So the first thing that I wish I would have known before I started lifting was that lifting heavy weights won't make me bulky or look like a man. Honestly, this was like the biggest hesitation I had when I first thought about starting to do weight training and weightlifting. And I was just like convinced that I would look manly if I lifted heavy. I was so focused on like building lean muscle that I wouldn't go heavy. I did light weights, high reps, and I never really pushed myself in the weight room because I thought I'm gonna gain a lot of muscle super fast, I'm gonna look like a boy, and I'm gonna hate it. And I do wanna like justify myself by letting you guys know that I do build muscle really easily. I always have, and that's pretty much where that idea stemmed from. But now that I'm like over a year into my lifting journey, I've realized that I can lift heavy and I won't look like a man. I'm not gonna grow huge muscles overnight, and I can always control my reps and sets to make sure I'm aiming for results that I want. And I really wish I would have known this like 2 years ago, because I think that my physique would have been a lot different by now. Like I could have had way more progress sooner, but this is the #1 thing that I wish I would have known before I started this journey. Okay, so for the second thing that I wish I knew before I started lifting was that you don't need fancy equipment to see results. On Instagram, you always see these people who go to the fanciest gyms, have the coolest equipment like the Booty Blaster 500 million thousand.
Booty Blaster 500 million thousand.
And you're like, wow, I need to get a more expensive gym membership and I need to do that machine to look like her. But you guys, that is the furthest thing from the truth. Right now, I only work out in my apartment gym because it's included in my rent. And there's dumbbells, there's a cable tower, very few machines, and a Smith machine squat rack. That's it. And guess what? I've seen more progress in my body than I ever have before, and I have very limited equipment. When I first started this, I was like convinced that I needed to spend a lot of money on a gym membership, travel to a gym that was further away from my house just to have this cool equipment. But the truth is, yes, that equipment is nice and it might make certain lifts more convenient, but you don't need it to see results. And that's a huge thing that a lot of people don't realize. And on that note of things you don't need to see results, brings me to my third point. You don't need supplements to see results. When I first started exploring the idea of weightlifting, I was seeing all these Instagram influencers who were just promoting the heck out of supplements. And I really thought that like I needed to take these supplements if I wanted to see results, look lean, look good. And I spent a whole lot of money on supplements that honestly did not make that big of a difference. Supplements are supplemental to your normal diet. So you can't go eat McDonald's and Hardee's and Culver's and all this fast food, junk food, and then take a leaning pill and expect to see results. That's just not realistic. I do think that some supplements are very helpful for your journey. Like I think protein powder makes a huge difference for me because I have a hard time getting my protein in through foods, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary for you to reach your goals. And I think that's something a lot of people need to know because so many people on Instagram and YouTube are promoting these supplement brands, but they're not making it clear that it's not necessary. You don't need it. Yes, it can help, but you have to have your diet and exercise on point first before any of this will help you. Okay, so on to my fourth thing I wish I knew before I started lifting, which is doing an influencer's workout will not make me look like them. So I've been weightlifting my whole life through sports because I played sports all the way through college, but about like a year and a half ago is when I started doing weightlifting for myself and creating my own programs for myself and stuff like that. So I like first got into that through Instagram, and I really like had this mindset that if I did the same workouts that my favorite influencers did, I would look like them. But I'm just like, that is, if you take anything away from the video, That is the number one thing you should keep in mind. For example, I was obsessed with Madeline Giorgetta, and I still am. I love her. I loved her body shape and I wanted to look like her. And so I would do her workouts all the time, and I was like getting frustrated. I was like, why don't I have this mile-wide thigh gap? Why don't I have a waist that tiny? And the reason is your figure depends a lot on your genetics. Your skeletal build is a huge factor in what shape your body will look like. My hips will never be as wide as Madeline Giorgetta's. My waist will never be as small as Madeline Giorgetta's. And that's because my skeletal build is much different than hers. Sure, if I wanted to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on plastic surgery, then I could have wide hips and I could have ribs removed to make my waist smaller. That's a real thing, which is scary, but it is. But my point is that no matter how much you try to look like your favorite influencer, it's not realistic. So I would have saved myself a lot of time and a lot of energy if I would have known that doing the same workouts as someone won't make me look like them, and started to create workouts that work best for my body and my realistic goals. So for my final thing I wish I knew before I started lifting, probably the most impactful for me and maybe for you, was how much it would and could not only change my perspective on fitness, but change my perspective on my body. Lifting weights has seriously changed my life. Like, I'm now embracing the natural build that I have. I used to be super self-conscious of how big my legs were and how muscular they were. But now I'm embracing it, and I'm happy that my legs can lift that much weight. And I wish I would have known that it can really change the way you feel about your body, and it can really change the way your body looks. I used to think I was fit, but my body was storing a lot more fat and I was narrow as heck. I've always had like a bigger butt and bigger boobs, but since I've started lifting, I'm now seeing definition in my shoulders, and my stomach is more toned than it's ever been in my life. And it's really cool to see these changes because it's making me feel a lot more confident in myself and in my body, and it's giving me something to look forward to every single day. I'm no longer going to the gym to run 4 miles, do abs, and do workouts that I hate. I'm going to the gym to do workouts that I love doing and thoroughly enjoy. So I wish I would have known how much weightlifting could have changed my life in the beginning, because I think I would have started it a lot sooner. All right, you guys, so those are the 5 things I wish I knew before I started weightlifting. I hope this is helpful for any other women out there who want to start weightlifting but don't know where to start, or are hesitant to start because they think it'll make them look bulky or that they'll hate it. I really just wish I would have heard these 5 things when I first started, because I think it would have changed a lot for me. But of course, I'm super happy with where I'm at. I'm so glad that life turned out the way it did, and I'm really grateful to be in the position to give you guys this information so that I can hopefully save you the time and energy that I didn't save. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so that you never miss one of my videos. Thank you again for watching. I love you all so stinking much, and I will see you next video.